Okay, hi, welcome back. I just wanted to make a short video of all the books I've gotten recently because I've been home for like 2 weeks or something, and like I've gotten so many books just because I have so many Barnes & Noble gift cards that I haven't used the past year because normally I have like so little by the time summer comes because my birthday and Christmas are in the same month. But you know, it's nice to be back in a bookstore that like I recognize, and my grandparents moved houses, so they were like downsizing, so I got a bunch of books. So I just wanted to like show off of some of them or whatever because I sort of think they're interesting. Went to my grandparents' house to help them like pack up a little bit and everything, and they're like, oh, take all these books. So it's like a bunch of books. Like this is Lessing, I think, not as philosophical stuff, but like his like more like plays or whatever. So like they're really pretty old editions and they're all like numbered. So this is like 7. So that's cool. And then there's like another, like they're all just really pretty. And they have like the old like German like calligraphy, which like is hard to read. So that's interesting. Got another one like Goethe's Faust. So I think it's in English. Yeah, this is in English because there's just on the whole shelves of like their German like writers that my grandfather likes. It's like German and or English, and you're just like, I know I'm taking German, but I don't know that much. So this will be interesting to read. And then another one, Das Buch Lessing. So again, it's all in German. So maybe I'll bring a couple with me to school and I can try reading them, but I don't know how much of it I can read, if it's like poetry or philosophical stuff, you know, because even in English, that's hard to do on a good day. And then my grandma specifically set aside these next 2 books. It's just, this is a huge anthology of like German prose writers and stuff. So this will be interesting. I don't know if it's in English or German. Okay, it is in English, but it's like you know when newspaper has like double columned, the book's like that, so she's thick. And then the next one, it's the grammar of the German language. So I don't know, I mean, it'll be definitely interesting if I needed help, but it doesn't, there's like no pictures, there's no charts, it just doesn't, you know, it's of a different time, and that's fine. And then my job was to get rid of like 5 boxes of books, and me and my sister both took a box as we were like going through them. So I found a couple interesting ones, like there's some on the Celts. I got Howard's End, which one of my friends is saying I should really read this, so perfect. I got The Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, which is a short Russian book, which is we're gonna vibe with. And then Slaughterhouse-Five, which would be interesting. I always hear about it. I think there's a movie or something, or you always hear about the book and stuff. So we got it. And then like Madame Bovary, this copy's tattered, but I guess it's well loved. And then The Old Man and the Sea. So it really was a grab bag between like, oh, here's an anthology of German short stories or German writers or like the Enlightenment, and then just stuff like this. Oh, also a lot of, I forget the name. There was just a lot of this one like American writer. Like they love American writers, which is like weird. I don't know, interesting. They're also older, so a lot of their books like just stopped. Like there's nothing older than like the 80s or 90s, and you're just like, cool. And then I went to Barnes & Noble with Katie when we were out the other day, and I just got some books. It's so nice being in the bookstore, like one that I know, because like, yeah, Waterstones is cool and all, but like, I don't know if it's because it's like a different country or different layout or whatever, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't, like, I still like it, but you don't like fully vibe with it, if that makes sense. I don't know, very interesting to think about. But I've been trying to find this book so much at Waterstones. Like every time I go in, I'd be like, make a beeline for this, try to find this book, like the whole author, everything. And they'd have it online, so I was like, oh, they might have it in store, and I like, it never happens because their horror section isn't that big. But here I found it and I was like, yes. So it's Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker. So I have my friend's dad here, and he loves Clive Barker. He has like 2 shelves dedicated to him of like, all his stuff, all his art, like even the movie adaptations of some of his stuff. So he, like, I already want to read this book, but he sold me on this book and a couple others. But it's sort of like this book gets lost and then it gets found, and there's like tied to a spirit or something. And like as you're reading it, like this book is meant to be like the book the character finds. So like there's a certain point where like the book like talks to you, like the spirit of the book talks to you. So like literally on the back it says burn this book, you know. So it's like, hopefully it's a little bit funny, it's an interesting horror concept, like thriller. And I want to read more of Clive Barker's stuff, so like this seems like a cool place to start, because I also want to get more into horror and thriller stuff, so a logical first step. And then I've been seeing this around, and I was just like, okay, I gotta go read it. And I saw it, and I was just like, yes. It's One Last Stop. It's where this girl's going home from her work or like a school day or whatever, and then there's this other girl on the subway, and she's like stuck in the subway like loop of like living this like same day, but she's like from the 70s, and it's like not the 70s anymore. And I guess they sort of like meet and try to like fix it all. Everyone loves it. You know, it just seems really interesting, seems very cute, and it's a rom-com. And you know, I don't hate rom-coms, but I can't like read it a lot. You know, like with anything, it gets boring if you read the same thing over and over. So I like to keep it interesting. So this would be nice to, if I want like a more easier like read, you know. And people online are loving it, so might as well give it a shot. And then you know how they have like some bookstores to do a blind date with a book or something. Barnes & Noble normally doesn't do it, but then I saw a little wall of them, and I was just like, yes, let's go for it. And they were like, they did on the intercom being like, oh, it is now like 8:40, like the store closed at 9. If like you're still here, please make your way to the checkout. So I was like, oh my god. And then Katie's just like loud, like, you know, taking her time, and I was like, we gotta go. So I like hurriedly put one of this out. It says YA fantasy dystopian world, paranormal / horror elements, first in a series. So don't know what it is, all I know is what it cost, and maybe I'll read it and really enjoy it, and maybe not. But I love stuff like this of just trying to like expand what you normally read and everything, so this is a good way to do it. And I love how they wrote first in a series or something, because then like you're not buying a book that's middle of the series, because I've done that before where like it's not labeled like on like the spine of like what order the books go in. So you grab like a book, read the back, oh, it's interesting, and then like you find out later that it's like a third or like second book in a series, and you sort of just like, oh my god. So love that. Hopefully it's not like a cliche dystopian novel from like 2010, but hopefully I enjoy it, and maybe I'll do a little video of me like opening it up, reading the back, and then reading it and give my thoughts and stuff. We'll see. And the last book is one I've been seeing around a lot. I don't really know much about it. So it's like The House of Leaves, and I kept seeing it online and like on Waterstones and Barnes & Noble and stuff, and I was like, what is this book? It seems interesting. And I guess it's more like experimental of like a format of a book, but I guess it's just essentially the story of this family that moves into a house, and the house is just weird, and it's like bigger on the inside than the outside, and I guess it's them just trying to like figure out like why and everything. But like, look at the cover, look at that, oh, crazy. And it's like about this book that I guess was being passed around. It was just like pieces of paper, and parts of it would like search the internet. Just like no one would have anticipated the small but devoted following this terrifying story would soon command. Starting an old assortment of marginalized youth, musician, tattoo artists, programmers, strippers, environmentalists, and adrenaline junkies, the book eventually made its way into the hands of older generations, who not only found themselves in the strange pages, but also discovered a way back into the lives of their estranged children. So now it's all wound up into a book. I don't really know much about it, but I'm really excited to start. And I was like flipping through it, trying to show Katie, and there's like pictures and other stuff in it, but then there's also bits that were in French, and I was like, oh my god, you study French? And she like took a photo of it, but I was like, yo, I'm gonna get it because it's like on sale. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited because it's like I love books that sort of like try to play with your expectations or like are a little bit different than just like text on a page, you know? So you can have fun. But as far as like books I've gotten recently, it's mainly just that. I haven't been reading that much lately because I have my job and just like flying and then just trying to like see everyone and do everything, and you just like get so tired working. Even if it's not a 40-hour week, you just get tired. And so I'm just trying to like do that and like unpack. And then we went boating the other weekend, so I literally came home. We drove like 5 hours away because we're like the furthest away from where we meet up every year, and came home like 2:30 by 4 hours of sleep, and didn't wake up until the next morning to wake up for my job because I start early. So that's where I'm at. But you know, currently reading It, A Little Life, and then Crooked Kingdom. So really interesting. But yeah, so as far as that, we're trying to get back into it, and then might get a new bookshelf soon so I can put these all somewhere, because currently now they're just in boxes in my room, which is not a vibe after a while, you know. But yeah, so we're enjoying it. I got burned, as you can sort of tell by here, and my arms are covered up, but we love the sun. Gotta make up from 10 months of like no sun in Glasgow, even though I like the weather. It's sunburning is also a different experience when it's in California. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some interesting books to read. I know I didn't really go over the other ones, but I feel like the other ones are either like so niche or so well known that you don't necessarily need a summary. But yeah, I guess until next time, hope you're doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye.